So this summer, we're going to try to do a ride from the northern part of the Oregon coast at Astoria all the way down the Oregon coast until we reach the California border. And in preparation for that ride, I've decided to try to change up my charging system on the motorcycle. So right now I have my GoPro mount right there on the left side of my handlebar. And I have my phone mount on my mirror. On my phone mount, I ran a lightning cable from the USB port under the seat on the Triumph. So what the Bonneville T120 has is it's got the battery minder that comes out here on the left-hand side of the bike. And then there is a single USB port right here that also is affixed under the seat. So I ran my lightning cable up here underneath the tank up to the front. And I brought it out here and brought it up onto the handlebar. So what I've bought for this summer ride is a new cable that needs to be connected to the battery. And then this will have two USB connectors and an on-off switch. And I should be able to mount this to my handlebar right over here. And then I'll be able to power both my camera and my phone for directions off of the same device. The most difficult part of this run is getting from here up underneath the tank. You can see that the cable actually is just resting up there underneath the tank. I just have to get it through here, get it up underneath the tank, and then I need to secure it in a way that it's not going to come loose during a ride. I'm always a little bit nervous when I do things like this because, of course, you want it high enough above the engine that the insulation on the cable doesn't start to melt. And so it's probably going to take me a week or two before I'm confident enough that even under high temperature conditions, this new cable, which is a little bit thicker, won't melt. But I will strap it in with some zip ties and try to get it nice and tight to the bundle of cable that's already up there. There's a lot more cable up underneath the tank, as you all know. Okay, so the first step was to clip off all of my previous zip ties. There is one rubber tie here that I used. So I needed both hands to get that off. So then feeding this lightning cable back down through. And now it's all the way back. So now I can pull the lightning cord out and unplug it from the built-in single USB charger that comes on the Triumph. And I can put its rubber cap back on since I I will not be using this charger, hopefully in the near future. I would make a suggestion to Triumph, if it was me, because the instrument panel up here already needs wiring. I think I would put a USB charger on this side and a USB charger on this side. You could also possibly just fit two USB chargers right in the front here with a weatherproof cap on them, and that way, you know, I could plug in and bring it around to my phone and bring it around to my navigation. I don't know why the instrument panel does not have any built-in USB chargers. I think you could do it very discreetly without ruining the look and feel of the instrument panel. I don't mind the under-the-seat charger. I mean, I think that's a clever location for a USB charger. I guess the only problem with the under-the-seat charger is it has more usefulness if you're putting something on the back of the bike or off the side of the bike than it does for putting things on the front of the bike. Okay, next thing is I have to unscrew the connections to the battery, put my new cable in there. Actually, I probably have to run the new cable underneath here first, and then I can connect it to the battery. With disconnecting the battery, I've always been taught or told you should start with the negative terminal, disconnect that then breaks the circuit so the bike's no longer sort of grounded to the battery, and then go to the positive terminal. So that's what I'm going to do here, and connect the negative and positives here. This has its own fuse in here. So the only sad thing going forward is that I believe the USB was probably on the regular fuse, the regular fuses on the bike, but now in the future, I'll probably have to carry a spare fuse for in here. I notice here that there's a little slit through the insulator there, so I'm going to try to feed my positive cable through that slit as well. Okay, I have the new cable connected in to the positive and the negative side of the battery. And if I came up here and flipped it on, I get a battery reading. So it is connected. Okay, to summarize up what I've done today, and let's hope it's good. So there's the old or lightning cable for my iPhone that used to run from the built-in USB charger that's right here under the seat up to my handlebars up there. But what I've done today is I've added a new connection off my battery, run it up under the gas tank, up to the handlebars for a dual USB connector at the handlebars that has an on-off switch, and that will tell me the voltage of my battery. So hopefully that's a good connection. It's got a little watertight rubber thing on the front. The only potential problem is that this has an inline fuse. They did provide an extra fuse in the packaging, so I'll just have to put that in my saddlebag so I have it with me. And otherwise now I just have to put the seat back on, and I believe I am done. Okay, so now I should be able to plug a camera in. That's a 1-foot cable that will take me over to my camera. I need another approximately 1-foot cable to go over to my iPhone. Once I have that, this should work. But if I turn this on, it should charge my iPhone, which it is, and it is providing power to the camera. And this is where my GoPro audio issues began. For the next couple of rides I did on the motorcycle, my GoPro captured no sound, except in one instance. And that was a good indication that the problem wasn't consistent. So I knew that whatever was happening with the audio on the GoPro, there was a workaround to it. Initially, when I discovered that no audio was being captured, I was in a little bit of a panic because I thought, well, I'm either going to have to abandon using my media mod on my GoPro camera, or I'm going to have to look for a different USB charging unit on the handlebar. I didn't want to get rid of the GoPro media mod. I do like the rear-facing microphone on the media mod. I do think it keeps the road noise down and also allows a little bit more of the engine muffler noise to come through during the ride. And so I fiddled around with things for a couple of days trying to understand what was happening. And there is a sequence that will work. If I turn things on in the proper sequence, which I'll demonstrate in just a second here, the GoPro will absolutely record sound, and it appears to record sound 100% of the time. If I don't turn things on in the proper sequence, the GoPro will not record any audio. I don't really understand again the mechanism. I think what's going on is that when you connect the GoPro to the handlebar USB charger through the media mod, that the media mod thinks you've plugged in an external microphone, and so it's basically turning off the media mod's internal microphones. But like I said, there is a sequence that will work that does allow the GoPro to continue recording audio through its internal microphones after you've connected the USB power. So let me show you that. The thing that caused all of the problems with my GoPro audio is a combination of the handlebar USB-C charger that I installed and the GoPro media mod. Let me show you what happens. If I turn on power on the handlebar charger and then I turn on the GoPro, you'll see that the audio level maxes out. The minute I unplug the charging cable, the audio goes back to normal, and you can see that the audio is now responding. If I plug the charging cable back in, the audio maxes out again. So the problem is that when the USB charger is turned on, you can't plug power into the media mod until after the camera is filming. So if I unplug, you'll see my audio on the camera is normal. If I start the camera filming, the audio stays normal. And now, if I plug in the power, the audio still works.